lock the app in the settings. I didn't realize I turned that feature off.
All righty. Well, first off, Moses, how you feeling, man?
I'm doing all right. I can barely hear you, man, so I'm going to be kind of close to the phone.
What about now?
A little bit better.
How you feeling?
So, doing all right. I just downed a bunch of water. I was coughing so much, I was like, I don't know if this is going to work out tonight. So,
what has COVID been like for you? A lot of people experience it differently. What have you felt?
Can you say that again? Like, I can't hear you.
Is it on? Do you have it on speaker?
Oh, you know what? I didn't think about that part. There you are.
How about now?
Yeah, and I can hear you. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Okay, and they just came in for a second.
5 minutes и 5 minutes.
Okay.
Chest graphic.
Chest graphic. Can we do 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
10?
5, 10 minutes.
Okay, because I'm on a call. Thank you. I hadn't seen them in a while, and all of a sudden when you call, they're here.
Do you need to
But
get to them?
No, they're going to come back in about 10 minutes.
All right. Well, since we got interrupted, let me just start again. Moses, how you feeling, man?
I've had better days. But I'm definitely better than I was Tuesday night.
Well, let's go back to Tuesday. What have so far, people experience COVID a lot differently. What has it been for you?
Honestly, my first symptom, and I didn't even realize it was one, is my heart was in tachycardia. And I was on the plane coming from Copenhagen to Istanbul on a layover to go back to Houston. And my heart was racing quite a bit. And I didn't think anything of it because I have anxiety coming back here, because on my way to Denmark, I had a very bad experience. And when I had to stay an extra couple of days. And so I just had anxiety. And that's what I thought it was. I was like, okay, I really don't want to go back, but it is what it is. When I was on the plane, though, it got worse. And then I had some severe abdominal pains, like had me hurled over in the side. I didn't actually start coughing until later on Tuesday night. And I was actually already here at the hospital. So the flight crew responded quickly when they saw I was in pain. And they asked for a doctor on board. There was a Danish doctor on board, and he checked my heart, or he checked the vitals and all that, and he was really concerned for my heart and my pain, and they put me on oxygen there. And then they put me in business class, so when we landed here, they had an ambulance and a medical team waiting to rush me to the hospital. Some of that's a little bit hazy because my oxygen levels kept dropping and I kept kind of slipping on them. I would pass out and then they'd wake me up, and I'd pass out and wake up, they said. And so that was a scary endeavor, to say the least.
Being in an unfamiliar territory, not being able to communicate, I guess, 100% with everybody, how did that feel? Just kind of, you're in and out of it. No one really knows what's going on, and you're letting strangers kind of take care of your well-being. What was that like?
Honestly, it's kind of one of those things where you just got to let go of everything and be like, I hope these people know what they're doing type attitude, because it was completely out of my hands. And to say the least, I definitely had some withdrawals on everything. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. These people don't speak English very much. The Danish doctor did, and he was very comforting. And I got to say, Dr. Jacob, wherever you are in the world, appreciate him, because he really helped calm me down. He helped the situation by far. But when we get here to the hospital, So here in Turkey, well, I don't know if this goes for every hospital, but from what I was gathering from the U.S. Embassy, it's kind of a normal thing, is you pay for services before you get them. So when you're on a gurney and you're hurting and you could kind of out of it, and they ask you for $1,200 for testing, it makes you a little bit like, what? Especially when you're not used to it, you're not accustomed, and you're just you kind of look at them going, could be dying, and do you want $1,200?
Right.
So, that really threw me off.
Well, after you spend that $1,200, is that when we find out that you've got COVID?
Yeah, they do blood work, they did chest X-ray, they did a COVID test. And if anyone has not taken that COVID test, at least the one that go up your nose, is not comforting. It hurts. Trying to think what else they did. They did EKG, did some other tests. So
So
the 1,200 wasn't just the one test; it was multiple tests.
Did you ever need a ventilator, or how bad did it get for you?
No, they did keep me on oxygen, and most of the time I'm on oxygen. However, the oxygen's messing with me right now. It makes me cough a lot because one of the treatments they're giving me is breaking up all that stuff in my chest, and it's causing me to cough a lot more. Which otherwise I'd be on oxygen. But I never had to get on a ventilator, fortunately. The worst it got for me was they did have to put me on oxygen to keep me, just that extra oxygen to keep me afloat, to keep me awake. But that was it. And it was pretty intense. They did give me something for a blood thinner, so I didn't have any clots or anything. Because before this, I have not had any heart issues or anything. I'd never had any health issues to speak of. I think seasonal allergies is about the extent of my health issues.
So you're over there in Turkey, alone, fighting COVID. What are your friends and family back home thinking? Like, this is insane.
They're pretty. A lot of people are freaked out because they're like, "Oh my God, you're in Turkey." Fortunately, some of my friends know what I do, and there's a couple of them that have lived abroad, and they've been my biggest assets. They're the ones that called the U.S. Embassy and set the U.S. Embassy up to start a file on me. They called some organizations around here to see if they can try to find someone to translate for me. I've had other friends, they started, because of the money situation, they started the GoFundMe to try to help. I've had a lot of people that just, I don't ask for help from, and so people they just kind of took over the situation and be like, we're going to help you. And I got to say, it's been very overwhelming, but appreciative. So
it's what you need in times like these is family and friends. You mentioned in that statement, they know what you do. Based off of what I can tell, it's just kind of clever. I've never heard of this before, but you sit with animals who need to get from one place to another so they don't have to go on cargo. Is there a special title for this? Is this new?
Well, sometimes I do drive them. So some people call it pet carrier. If I'm on a flight, they call it a flight nanny, pet transporter. There's multiple names for it. I have been doing it for the last year, and I was at a point where I could do it, and it's been great. I've gotten to see a lot of different places, and both before and after COVID, or before COVID and during COVID. I guess my only real concern is sometimes on planes when they get a little packed.
Mm-hmm.
That's my biggest issue. Because when I'm in an airport or I'm out and about in a different place, I can social distance. I can control that aspect. What I can't control is how packed they get. they make it plain
Right.
with people.
Based off of
So,
what I'm going to ask you, have you taken socially distancing and mask wearing seriously? And if so, where do you think you came in contact with the virus?
so yeah, when I'm back home, when I'm traveling, whatever, I do take wearing a mask and social distancing very serious. I mean, even when I'm out, when I brought my girls on vacation, we found a beach that wasn't crowded. It was practically empty. Just because, like, look, we want to live, but we want to do it properly. And my biggest thing, I think, on one of the flights over here, there was a gentleman I sat next to, and I didn't know he just started coughing, and he coughed, I felt like forever, and his skin was all red, his eyes were bloodshot. I'm like, this is it. This is where I'm gonna get sick. Like I'm like, I just knew it. I was like, I've gone all this time. Yeah, I knew. I had a feeling, and I can't blame I can't just point the fingers. For all I know, I got it when I was at a grocery store medical. But I have a feeling I got it on there.
So what does this do for your job now? Like, first, when do you get to come home? Do you get to come home soon?
Best case scenario, I come home later in the week, like end of the week.
How long have you been so far?
I've been out of the country since the 9th. So, okay. They are bugging me.
They're getting you? All right. Well, look, we'll touch base again and see how you're doing, but we hope you make it home safely. Keep us updated, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate your time, Adam. Nice evening.
Same here.
All right, man.